the bit we are walking into, this is the north-south direction. The south is behind us and this is the north. So we had initially entered the gate and walked towards the west. So now we've come back a little bit and walking in a direction perpendicular to the previous one. Now this bit is again pile of rocks here, pile of rocks there. But apparently this area would have been the series of audience halls which a king needs to have to hold his darbar. So the area we are walking through is actually private audience halls going into the more public audience halls. Yeah. So this is how it moves. Now the halls just look like rooms. Some of them don't even look like rooms. These would have been originally separated by a series of gates because you can't just walk in. Yeah? This is a royal area. Offices are here. This is where the court is being organized. The darbar is held daily. So it's not just like that you stroll in whenever you feel like. There would have been privacy levels. There would be series of checks and guards at each and every point. So none of those portals, none of those gateways actually survive. So we just try and guess that okay, this might have been the extent of one private audience hall. The second one would have been starting from here and so on. So this is the direction we are moving in. We are actually moving in the opposite, from the wrong direction. You don't move in from the private space to the public space. You move in from the public space to the private one. And the reason for this is the way the route we are following is not a public route. I mentioned earlier that the gate we entered through was not a public gate. It was probably an exclusively royal gate connected to the citadel, which would have been the royal area. So if you come in this way, you're probably following the way which should have been used exclusively by the royalty. Probably the king came in. And the rest of the population, whoever had any business with the court, etc., would have come in from the other side. We will gradually go to the side. And once we are at a higher elevation, you'll get the plan, the layout a little better. Right now I'm just talking about it, but you'll be able to see it better once we are at a higher ground.
Where is the citadel?
Citadel is all that bit you see there. Now, when I say a mound, it means in archaeological terms, it's just a bit of land which rises above the ground level because that's where the settlements were. So over a period of time, old settlements get replaced by newer ones, and gradually over centuries, because there have been successive settlements or even if one or two settlements, the thing is that it gets covered by earth, it gets covered by trees, earth, etc. So it becomes a mound. So archaeologists dig at mounds. Yeah, they cut portions of mounds and dig it. So this bit which you see was actually some sort of a building. When I say this was a palace area, all of this was building. But today, because it has all collapsed, it's all debris, covered by vegetation, etc., it's a mound only, mostly inaccessible. So we're going through this area, and which was, like I said, probably parts of the audience halls, and further towards north. Okay, now the opening, the Maidan-like thing you see here where we are standing, this is next to the audience hall, Darbar hall. So we have walked through an area which was the court portion, and the court portion actually goes further north. You see a little bit of the top of the building there, behind the vegetation. So all of that was part of the halls, the audience halls. And it ends closer to the boundary wall you see. So there's a street between the palace complex and the boundary wall, and then the Maidan next to it. Now this area would have been the more public area. The point we've entered from was the more private one. This is the more public area. And towards my right, just beyond, you can see a slightly mound-like structure. Just beyond that was the east gate of the town, the palace area, which would have linked it to the town. The town beyond it. So the boundary wall you see is the boundary wall not of the entire fort, it's the boundary wall of the palace area. Beyond it was the town, which is where the lower people lived, the workers and the rest of the town lived. So this would have been a more elite and official area, and beyond this wall would have been the outer wall of the fort. So it's a much bigger area than we imagined. And all this while you were walking along the fortification wall, this was the boundary wall which we could see. So we can't even see the wall which was after this. Yeah? And if you walk out through the east gate which connected it to the town, all that bit is now overtaken by the new settlement. So all the new area settlement of the Suttatlakabad area is that. And it's also next to the citadel. Guys, you have to hear me out. You won't get food otherwise. see, everyone is coming now.
You're not giving food.
Okay. The arcade we are standing on is probably stables, and the ground you just walked through would have been slightly lower, so there would have been much more space. But I think it's just a good view, that's why I got you up here, even though it's not a pleasant climb all the time. Now the view you get here will help you understand where all we've been walking through. So we entered from somewhere behind this bastion. Yeah. Oh, that's a Neel guy, yeah.
Plenty. देख लो भाई.
It's part of the deer family.
नहीं देख लो कुछ पहले देख लो तो बताना. It's basically the juice you are getting for free. Okay.
And we have walked through this area. So this is the palace area which goes north-south. That's the north, that's the south. This is the palace area and you can actually make out the mound now. Yeah? And there's Neel guy. Where he which you'll find at most places in the Aravalli, especially towards the south. Campuses like JNU still have them. Not so much now, but they're still there. Neel guy.
Blue cow. They're not blue and they're not cows. And they're deers.
And I feel like this is a smaller specimen. They go grey. The fully grown of their species go slightly grey and they're much larger. And they're very strong, very strong. So to bang your car into one, it's probably a car that will suffer, not the Neel guy.
Don't try it.
No, don't try it. And this depression you see, this is a quarry for all the construction you see around. So It's not of a geometric pattern pre-decided, but of a rocky hill. So when Tughlaq went and ahead and decided that I want to construct a fort here, he saw the site. It was already a rocky outcrop here, and that is why where he started digging. So he started digging, quarrying, mining for stone. He used the stone for construction of these massive palaces and fortresses, and the depression which was created as the result of the quarrying was filled with water to create reservoirs. So this is one such reservoir. Yeah. All of this would have been full of water. So this is a locally mined stone. We are actually in the Aravali region. So most construction here has been on stones taken on site. You don't really have to get material from anywhere. These are portions of battlements which have fallen down. So you can see them on top of the bastion. So those are the very stones. So they don't look as big over there, but they're fairly big pieces of stone. Yeah.
Also Tughlaq?
Yeah.
These were quarried.
Yeah, they're quarried and shaped like this.
Cut into.